work, whether you notice his effects or not. I read the Bible for years. I didn't notice many of these effects until recently. And you'd expect that, by the way, if this is the Word of God. That look, there's at least 3 different levels of interpretation, or understanding, maybe is a better word. That a kid can understand the basics of the Bible. That's one level. An intelligent adult can understand another level. But then there's a third level, sort of the scholarly level, the people that really study the original languages. They get into all this, they see all this typology, they see chiasms, they see all this, all these strands that come together as a tapestry, and they go, wow. God doesn't write technical manuals. God is an artist. Here's another way of seeing how God is an artist. You see this slide here? Chris Harrison and another gentleman in 2007 looked at how many different scriptures connect with other scriptures in terms of names and events and themes. They found over 63,000 connections. That's what these connections in this rainbow picture, this rainbow image are showing you. The 63,000 connections. Remember, between books that weren't written by the same people, right? There's 40 different authors over 1,500 years, and yet you see all these interconnections. You see the tapestry. You see that the themes and the events and the people fit together across books that were written by different people at different times in different languages and different contexts. God's an artist. I'm kind of a left brain person. I want everything to be just spelled out. Just tell me what I need to know. No. God does some of that. You read some of the Old Testament and Chronicles. Okay, all that's laid out. But God is an artist. He's not just telling you information. He's doing it via story. He's like a playwright. And he doesn't always reveal his hand. You got to pay attention to see what's going on. You got to see the connections, and that makes it all the more interesting when you start to see these connections going in this life. Yeah, God's an artist, and his effects are art. The Bible is one of his effects. Through men that he inspired over 1,500 years. So the Bible is one of the greatest apologetics. If you properly understand it, and you study it, and you see these things, you go, yeah, this isn't just the product of men. There had to be a divine hand behind all this. So when you look at the Bible, don't dismiss it. There's a lot more going on than you can imagine. In fact, that's how we know God exists. We know God by his effects. We see a creation, that's an effect. There must be a creator, that's the cause. See design, that's the effect. There must be a designer, that's the cause. We see a moral law written on our heart, that's the effect. There must be a moral lawgiver, that's the cause. You see a man rise from the dead, that's the effect. There must be somebody who has power over life that can raise people from the dead. That's the cause. You see a series of documents that come together over 1,500 years by 40 different authors on 3 different continents in 3 different languages, and they have this intricate tapestry that runs throughout all of the books. Yeah. That's the effect. What does the cause be like? All right, folks, we'll see you here next